Every year, March comes bursting in like a fresh breeze, bringing with it a sense of renewal and hope. The days grow longer, the air warmer, and nature begins to awaken from its winter slumber. It brings with it the promise of spring, a season of growth and new beginnings. The world around us starts to bloom, and with it our spirits are lifted. But for women around the world, March holds a special significance. It is a month dedicated to recognizing the achievements and contributions of women throughout history and across cultures. It is a time to celebrate how far we have come, to acknowledge the progress made in the fight for gender equality. From the suffragettes who fought for the right to vote, to the women breaking barriers in science, politics, and every field imaginable. It is a time to honor the women who paved the way, whose courage and determination have opened doors for future generations. Their stories inspire us to continue the fight for a more just and equitable world. And it is a time to rise up and demand a better future for all. To advocate for policies that support women's rights, to challenge the status quo, and to work towards a world where everyone has the opportunity to thrive. This March, let us remember what International Women's Day and Women's History Month are all about. They are not just dates on a calendar, but powerful reminders of the ongoing struggle for equality and justice. They are not just about flowers or words, they are about action. They are about equality. They are about justice. They are about creating a world where every woman and girl can live free from discrimination and violence. They are about a world where every girl, no matter where she is born, has the chance to learn, to lead, and to achieve her dreams. A world where her potential is not limited by her gender, but only by her imagination and determination. International Women's Day on March 8th gives us a chance to shout our message from the rooftops, to celebrate the achievements of women and to call for continued progress. Women's History Month, throughout March, allows us to tell the stories that have for too long been silenced. This is our time. Let's make it count. Let's ensure that the voices of women are heard, their contributions recognized, and their rights upheld. International Women's Day was not born in a palace or a parliament, it was born in the streets, amidst the clamor and cries for justice and equality. It was born on the streets, in the hearts of women who knew they deserved better. These women, often facing insurmountable odds, stood up and made their voices heard. In the early 20th century, the world was a very different place. Women had limited rights and were often treated as second-class citizens, but in the hearts of these brave women a fire burned brightly. In 1908, women garment workers in New York City marched for their rights. They were tired of the exploitation and the harsh working conditions they had to endure. They demanded fair pay, reasonable working hours, and an end to child labor. Their courage inspired others. These demands were not just for themselves but for future generations of women. Soon, women across Europe and the United States were holding their own demonstrations, rallies, and protests. The movement was growing, and the message was clear. Women would no longer be silent. They were fighting for the right to vote, the right to education, and the right to be treated as equal members of society. These were fundamental rights that had been denied to them for far too long. The struggle was long and arduous, but these women were relentless. They knew that their fight was not just for themselves, but for all women, everywhere. In 1975, the United Nations officially recognized International Women's Day. This was a monumental step, acknowledging the importance of women's rights on a global scale. Since then, it has become a global movement, celebrated by millions of people in every corner of the world. It is a day of unity, reflection, and action. It is a day to reflect on the progress we have made, to honor the women who came before us, and to recognize the work that still needs to be done, and to renew our commitment to the fight for gender equality. Together, we can continue to push for a world where every woman is treated with the respect and dignity she deserves. This year, the theme for International Women's Day is Accelerate Action. It is a call to action for governments, organizations, and individuals to step up their efforts to achieve gender equality. We cannot be complacent. We cannot afford to wait. The time for action is now. Women's History Month also has a powerful theme this year, moving forward together, women educating and inspiring generations. This theme emphasizes the importance of education, mentorship, and leadership in empowering women and girls. It is a reminder that we are all in this together. These themes are a call to arms. They are a reminder that we must work together to create a more just and equitable world for all women and girls. We must challenge gender stereotypes, fight discrimination, and create opportunities for women to succeed. Some people might ask, why do we need a special day for women? Why set aside specific days to celebrate women when they are an integral part of our lives every single day? Isn't every day Women's Day? Shouldn't we be recognizing their efforts and contributions all year round? And it's true, women contribute every single day. They are the backbone of our families, our communities, and our workplaces. But the world doesn't always recognize their contributions. Often, their efforts go unnoticed and their voices are not heard. It doesn't always value their voices. Women have to fight harder to be seen and heard in many areas of life. International Women's Day and Women's History Month give us a platform. They provide a dedicated time to focus on the achievements and struggles of women. They shine a spotlight on the incredible things women are doing all over the world. These days help bring attention to the progress women have made and the challenges they still face. From scientists making groundbreaking discoveries in labs, to teachers shaping young minds in classrooms, from activists fighting for social justice on the streets, to mothers nurturing the next generation at home, women are changing the world in countless ways. They are leaders, innovators, caregivers, and trailblazers. These days remind us that progress is possible. They show us how far we've come and how much further we need to go. When we tell the stories of women who have overcome obstacles, who have faced adversity and triumphed, who have broken down barriers in fields traditionally dominated by men, who have made a difference in their communities and beyond, we inspire others to do the same. We show the next generation of girls that they can achieve anything they set their minds to. We show girls that they can be anything they want to be. They can be scientists, artists, athletes, or anything else they dream of. We show the world that equality is not a dream, it's a necessity. It's something we must strive for every day, for the benefit of everyone. While we celebrate the achievements of women, we must also acknowledge the challenges that remain. Around the world, women and girls still face discrimination, violence, and inequality. Millions of girls are denied an education simply because of their gender. Women are underrepresented in positions of power and leadership, and gender-based violence continues to be a global epidemic. The statistics are stark. The World Economic Forum estimates that it will take another 132 years to close the global gender gap. Think about that. Over a century more of inequality. We cannot accept this. We must do better. We must accelerate action. We must demand change. Women's History Month is a time to remember. It's a time to learn about the women who came before us, the women who fought for our rights, the women who made the world a better place. We must teach their stories to our children. We must keep their legacies alive, because the fight for equality doesn't end with one generation. It's a relay race. We must pass the torch to the next generation and give them the tools they need to continue the fight. But it's not just about looking back, it's also about looking forward. What kind of world do we want to create for our daughters and granddaughters? A world where they are free to be themselves, to pursue their passions, to reach their full potential. Let us imagine a world where every girl can go to school. A world where women earn equal pay for equal work. A world where women are free from violence and discrimination. A world where women have an equal say in the decisions that affect their lives. This is the world we must strive to create. This is the promise of International Women's Day and Women's History Month. This March, let us all make a commitment. A commitment to challenge gender stereotypes. A commitment to fight for equality. A commitment to create a brighter future for all women and girls. Because when women rise, we all rise.